Well, David, a defeat today. Did we get everything we deserve today?
Probably in the end. I thought the first half were a much better team, should have been ahead, 1 or 2 goals ahead. And if you don't take advantage of your dominance against a good Walsall team, you'll probably get punished, and that's sort of how it panned out. We had less answers to what they were doing as the game wore on, which was disappointing. I thought the first goal was going to be crucial because they sat in and made it really hard to beat, and I suppose gave us the respect that we'd earned recently. But we still looked like we were going to score a goal, and we probably should have scored a goal in that first half or 2, but we didn't. And when they then change up 1 or 2 bits, and then we don't have the answer for that, they become more dominant, and we've got to have the answers. But we also, when we're on top, be ruthless, and that's them 2 bits cost us today.
Started well, like you say, and then their keeper got an injury, and there was a timeout, wasn't there? And that seemed to knock the momentum. Yeah,
momentum did shift at that point. I thought, which fair enough. That's their sort of prerogative. We went away from what we were doing. They didn't change. I said to Sean and Ben, I said, look, we're going to change something here because the goalkeeper's gone down for a reason. They didn't. It was us that changed. We stopped doing what was actually made us successful the first 30-35 minutes. But even in that first 30-35 minutes, we should have been 1 or 2 up. We've had 2 or 3 great chances to create and score, and we don't. So the next sort of 10-15 minutes is then even, not because of what they did, because of what we did or didn't do. And then in the second half, we didn't have the answers to questions that they then posed. Their press was a bit better, but we could have still beaten their press like we were doing in the first half, and we didn't. And that was disappointing, I'd say. And then we made some individual errors, which can happen. And ultimately, we got punished for it.
It's quite similar to the Doncaster game here a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Although we never got going at that point. Today we did, and we're much the better team. And we should have been ahead at half time by. It reminded me very much of last season's. First 40 minutes last season, we should have been out of sight, and we end up going in at half time 2-1 down. Today we're going at 0-0, and we should have been 2-0 up. We've got to become more ruthless, like I say. Cut out some individual errors in the second half, and have greater answers when teams come and pose us a different question, and we didn't do that. And them 3 things ultimately cost us the game.
Is the home form a concern?
No, it's not home or away form. It's improving performances consistently and being consistently good. I genuinely don't know how many games we've won at home, how many games we've lost at home. We've got to get that balance of playing football right and being hard to beat right. So at Salford, we just become hard to beat. We gave up 26 shots. You do that against a Walsall team, you'd end up losing anyway. So we've got to play more football. Getting that balance right. Is that different at home and away? Maybe slightly, but not too much. And that's our next stage of our development. I mentioned it last night at the Fans Forum. I've mentioned it in the week. And today's sort of a reflection of that. Taking nothing away from Walsall, they're probably the best team we've played. So and that's where we're at on our development journey, if you like, as opposed to just we're good away and crap at home, or whatever you want to describe it as, because that's not the case. It's our performances that's really important.
And mitigating factors, of course, the squad is stretched at the minute, isn't it?
I can sit here and talk about injuries as long as you want, because we've got that many, but it doesn't help when you can't change things that you want to change because you haven't got them options on the bench. But look, the fans will then say I'm making excuses. It's a fact. It'd have helped to have different personnel available today, but then that's where we're at. So there's no point in me talking about it really, because that's never taken into consideration in these matters. We could do with more players back and quickly. Because if we do, then we'll have greater chances of winning games of football for sure. And
it's such a shame, David, because we get a good crowd at home, and like I say, similar to Doncaster a few weeks ago.
Yeah, look, it shows the progress that we're making, that we're getting good crowds. that we're getting crowds that come with optimism as opposed to dreading the afternoon and all the rest of it. So it shows that the expectation has gone up, which is a good thing. But at the same time, we're going to have these periods, we're going to have these performances because we're not as secure as what we need to be because of the journey we're on. And I keep saying it, that's it. That's the truth. We've got a long way to go still.